Scream is in shambles. What's up, guys? Welcome to a Scream update. This is big news. Christopher Landon, the director of Happy Death Day and Freaky, he was just announced a couple months ago to be the new director for Scream 7. He has left, and I completely understand. Not surprised at all. I saw this happening, and I figured I needed to do a legit update on this because this is big. The future of the Scream franchise is, I think, in deep shit right now. And I think there's probably a lot of people scrambling, figuring out what to do. So I think first thing is let's read through this update. This is on Bloody Disgusting. It's official as can be. And before I start reading, I want to know your thoughts on this down in the comments. How are you feeling about all this? It's pretty crazy. Christopher Landon is no longer with Scream. And this is a guy who loves the franchise to death. You know, any director, it would be a dream to be able to direct a Scream movie. This was his dream. And I'm going to read his official statement. Director Christopher Landon formally exits Scream 7. The hits keep on coming for Scream 7. Weeks after Melissa Barrera was let go from the upcoming sequel, followed closely by news that Jenna Ortega also left. Director Christopher Landon announced via Twitter today that he formally exited the project weeks ago. The filmmaker said, "I guess now is a good time as any to announce I formally exited Scream 7 weeks ago. This will disappoint some and delight others. It was a dream job that turned into a nightmare, and my heart did break for everyone involved, everyone. But it's time to move on. I have nothing more to add to the conversation other than I hope Wes's legacy thrives and lifts above the din of a divided world. What he and Kevin created is something amazing, and I was honored to have even the briefest moment basking in their glow." And it goes further to say Scream and Scream 7 directors Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette will remain on board as executive producers, which I'm thinking maybe they kind of have to. I don't know. I don't know the legal jargon there, but we'll talk about them in a minute. As will Chad Villela, at least as of this reporting. Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega have been up to this point the two main leads in the new Scream trilogy, playing sister Sam Carpenter and Tara Carpenter. Needless to say, it'll require a huge change of plans to take the story in a different direction. No word yet on whether or not Jasmine Savoy Brown and Mason Gooding will be returning for the 7th installment. With no director in place now, the sequel seems to be in even more dire straits. You know, even before this happened, and if you remember, after Melissa Barrera had left and then Jenna Ortega the very next day, Christopher Landon left a tweet that he quickly deleted, you know, basically stating that it's not my fault. I would imagine that when he posted that tweet, I think that's when he quit. But I think the news had been so bad up to that point that maybe they asked him to wait to announce that he was leaving. I don't think it would have made a difference either way. But I'm going to say this right now. I think we're getting a Scream reboot, and I think it could be at least 2 to 3 years before we see anything from the Scream franchise. And it is a shame because, correct me if I'm wrong, Scream 6 was probably the most profitable movie of the entire franchise. It did very well. I think Spyglass had a knee-jerk reaction to a post that somebody got offended by. And instead of pumping the brakes and literally maybe getting around a meeting table and talking this out, they did something that they'll probably regret. And we even heard rumors that there was a meeting that they tried to have with Melissa Barrera to get her back on board. But there's no way Melissa Barrera would ever come back. I think the salt is in the wound, and you know, there's no turning back. And it's a shame too, because this is a franchise that stayed the course all the way through 6 movies. They never shifted continuity like a lot of other franchises do. And I think that just makes people take this franchise more seriously than other franchises because they stick to the path. Not saying all the movies are great. I had major problems with Scream 6, but that is besides the point. At least we were going forward with the same direction. You know, changing the story up, of course. Now, I think there could be some good out of this, and I think people still love the Scream franchise. This isn't the franchise's fault. It's the studio, Spyglass. It's really their fault for putting us in this mess. So I think they need to just clean house, and honestly, I'll be shocked, literally shocked, if Spyglass doesn't sell Scream to somebody else. Because I think they know that if they go forward with this franchise, they're going to have a lot of pissed off people. Sure, some will go see the movie, but not everybody will go see the movie. Also, Neve Campbell, I wouldn't count on her coming back. Just the way she was dealt with in Scream 6, kind of just thrown away. I think it would take a lot of doing to get Neve Campbell back, but I think it would have to be a different studio. Pretty much anybody that Neve Campbell's comfortable to work with. I guarantee you they're going to be trying to get Neve Campbell back eventually, and I don't think it'll be through Spyglass. I think they would be wasting their time trying to get her to come back to the franchise. Who knows? And guys, I might be wrong. You know, this might be business as usual, and Spyglass might put out the next Scream movie. Would Jasmine Savoy Brown and Mason Gooding actually come back for the next movie? I think it'd have to be a big paycheck. Without Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega, I don't think those other two have big enough star power to carry this movie. I could be wrong. I mean, this is Ghostface's world, but I think they need a clean slate, a fresh start, if I'm being honest. Not necessarily a remake of the first one. I just think they need to shift gears, right? So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this news. Where do you want the franchise to go? Do you think we need to take a breather and just maybe let the negative energy pass until we get back on our feet? Who knows? But crazy times for Scream fans, right? Also, before I go, I just started the Drumdums memberships. I just started that last night. Sean Sheridan became the very first Drumdums member. So if you click on the join button below, you can find out all the details. There's 3 tiers there. And a lot of perks, fun stuff, especially during like the live streams. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day. And on Fridays, Review for Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on my social, support me on Patreon, buy me coffee. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Drumdum out.